Lovebugs, welcome to Call Me Ruby. It's me, Nikki, and I pray you are having an amazing morning, afternoon, or evening whenever this message so finds you. I want to welcome my new subscribers. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining the fam. I am overly excited about what the Lord is doing in all of our lives. To those who've been with me from the very beginning, thank you so much. You are greatly appreciated. So let's just jump right in. I'm sitting in the parking lot. My sister had to run inside of a store and pick up a few things, and I decided to just try and do a quick video while I'm sitting here. Listen, God is wanting you all to know, us all to know, that He is bringing about a divine reversal in so many of our lives. Let me repeat that. A divine reversal. And divine in this case simply means it is something that has been ordered and decreed by the Lord Himself. This divine reversal is indeed from the Father. And these divine reversals can pertain to relationships, whether it be family relationships, whether it be romantic relationships. It can pertain to circumstances in your life. It can pertain to your occupation, whatever you find yourself presently doing. It can be whatever the Lord has been speaking to your spirit. This is your confirmation. This atmosphere is charged with God's goodness. We are indeed in the season of recompense, of restoration, of recovering all, and divine reversals are a huge part of this. I know you all feel it. You've been receiving confirmation all around you in so many unique ways, and we feel the excitement in our spirits as God is bringing this thing to be. So many of us have already begun to experience these divine reversals, and I am so excited about it, y'all. God reveals to me so much in just the simple things. The other day, I had logged onto my Facebook, and I noticed right off that two of my Facebook friends were mentioning celebrating their 55th birthday. Now, I did not have to scroll to see this. God just highlighted this thing right then and there. And I'm not one who really frequents Facebook. I go on there to check certain things, but I do not scroll very often. I do not linger on there. So I knew God was highlighting this for a reason, and my spirit was quickened, and God gave me an unction to pay attention to that. Pay attention to that, Nikki. So I took a mental note of it. I think I even jotted it down a little later because I knew God was going to speak into that. So later on in that day, when I had time to really sit down and allow God to just expound on that number, you all, I was, as always, blown away by what I discovered. You all, I looked up the number 55 in the Strong's Concordance, and it said it meant to turn. In the Hebrew, it said it meant to turn. Is God not wanting us to know what He is doing in this hour, and that He is indeed in the business of bringing about divine reversals in whatever area He has disclosed to you that He is doing so? But because God has called me to be a voice for relationships done God's way, for becoming our best for our relationships, I'm going to speak in regards to how this pertains to what God is doing in these upcoming unions. I do encourage those whom God has been speaking a divine reversal in your life to also apply this to other areas of your life. Okay, let's get back to what I discovered. You all, I am just beside myself at how, as God encourages me to dig and look at this and research this, He just opens this up so beautifully. Doesn't it make you want to just do a rooster call or something? Did I just say rooster call? I'm always so amazed. And why I said rooster call? Y'all pray for me because I can be so random, but for whatever reason, I just heard the rooster. What do you call that? Whatever they do in the morning time, the wake up call. Maybe that's because God is wanting to wake us up to what He's doing. That's why the rooster call popped in my head. God is wanting you to wake up to the fact that He is showing you all around you that He is indeed turning these situations around. What once looked dead, what once looked impossible, what once looked like nothing to you, God is saying, I'm turning it around. And I also took it upon myself to look up the correct definition of the word turn. And quite a few were highlighted to me that I want to share with you all. The first definition I saw for turn was to move something in a circular motion. Another definition said that it is to move something so that it is in a different position. I also saw that it can mean a change in direction when moving. So as you can see, across the board, what the Lord is saying is that he's about to cause these situations and circumstances to change, to turn, to go the opposite of what it now looks like, to do a turnabout, to just completely change directions. And let's look at what reversal means. A definition for reversal that God indeed highlighted was that a reversal is a change in something so that it becomes the opposite of what it was. Are you hearing that in the spirit? A change of something so that it indeed becomes the opposite of what it was. And this can pertain to a position or a course of action. Are y'all hearing that in the spirit? The Lord is saying that he is causing situations with these spouses that we have been praying for, standing for. He's causing these things to begin to change to the opposite of what we have yet been seeing, for our positions to change. Hear that in the spirit. Your position is about to change. Your position in this man's life, in this woman's life, is about to change. And that can also pertain to another position that is yours, that is being occupied currently by someone else or something else. God is saying he is about to position you where you belong, where you were always intended to be. Hear that however the Lord is speaking it to your spirit, because it can pertain to a number of things. Make no mistake about it. What's yours is yours, and you're about to take your position. Listen, let me encourage you. There are so many instances in the Bible where God issued out divine reversals. You have Abraham and Isaac. Isaac was the promise, the long-awaited promise. Yet God asked him to sacrifice his son, his promise. And Abraham was so dedicated to the Lord, so committed to servitude to the Lord, that he was willing to do that. And guess what? The Lord brought about a divine reversal. How many of us could have done that? How many of us would have been able to give up the very thing that the Lord had been promising us that had finally made its appearance? That's some serious love and dedication to the Father. And you see how God honored that? Abraham went on to be the father of nations. What resulted was far greater than him having to momentarily give up his promise. How many of us are in situations or have been in situations where we felt like the Lord had required us to give up the promise? For whatever reason, it seemed like when we had it in our grasp and when we thought things were moving in a certain direction, things just reversed. It went in the opposite direction, and you thought that was God's way of saying that that was not his desire or his will for you. But listen, God in all his sovereignty and wisdom and knowledge brought it back around, and you were like, what? I thought this was not the one. I thought this wasn't your divine choice, but God brought it back around. You know why? Because he wanted to see where your heart was. Was he your utmost desire? Did you seek after him more than that promise? And were you ready for that promise? Were you ready to handle and cultivate and maintain what he's bringing into your life? That is so important to the Father, because it's not just about us receiving this thing. It's about how we will use that and how it will change and point meaning to him. He's strategic, you all. Who was I speaking to? Because God just weaved that right on in, and I know that he was wanting to get that to somebody. I also think about Paul. I consider Paul's, conversion to be a divine reversal. Paul was out murdering Christians, yet God met him on the road to Damascus, and look what he did. Oh, what a change he caused in that man's life. He brought about a true divine reversal in his life, and he went on to write a majority of the New Testament. The miracles he performed in the Bible were divine reversals. The lame walking, the blind seeing, all of those things he did as he walked the earth, and that he still continues to do to this day, are indeed divine reversals. And we simply cannot forget the ultimate divine reversal: salvation, redemption for our souls, redemption for right relationship with him. The Father sacrificed himself in order that we be in right relationship with him, in order that we experience the goodness of the Holy Spirit, in order that we experience relationship with him forevermore. That is the ultimate divine reversal. And listen, I could go on and on, but you get the point. God is indeed in the business of divine reversals, and he is desiring to bring about that in your life. And he's wanting you to know that that is indeed what is happening. That is what is happening in your life, and that is what you're feeling and sensing in your spirit. Okay, let me try to break down a couple of events that took place over the last couple of days that truly breaks down what God is wanting to do and is showing us about divine reversals. Okay, so I think it was a couple of days ago, I made 2 online purchases, and one of those purchases I began to have second thoughts about. I began to question if it was what I really wanted, and I canceled it. And so I received an email saying that I would receive a refund in so many days. But listen, y'all, this was done later on in the evening, like wee hours of the morning, as a matter of fact. And so the following morning, I woke up and I checked my email and saw that the refund was already finalized. It was already in my account. And I was thinking, whoa, that was record time. I have never received a refund on anything within hours. And I immediately heard God speak. I heard my Father say, pay attention to that. Pay attention to that, because I'm speaking. And I knew he was going to use that for a word. It wasn't until a second occurrence that the Lord said, let me speak into this, daughter. Let me speak into this. So in that same day, I had also made another purchase. And that following morning, I received an email that said the item you chose is not currently in stock. So we suggest these items in place of what you chose, because if you stick to what you ordered, there's going to be an extra 5 to 7 day delay. And that's when I began to feel an even stronger unction by the Holy Spirit saying, I have a message. Listen to this. I'm trying to show you something. So I took a moment and just allowed God to speak into that place. Think about that in the spirit, y'all. This was a situation where you knew what you wanted. You knew you wanted it at a certain time, and you knew you wanted it for a certain reason. It had a purpose in why you purchased this thing. But for whatever reason, you're now being told that the product you chose is not available. But have no fear. Have no fear. We have options. We have other things available that will get to you sooner. I had a choice to make in that moment. Do I stick to what I originally wanted, or do I choose something else because I get it sooner? Hear that in the spirit. I chose to stick to what I wanted, and I kindly wrote the company and said, thank you so much for reaching out, but I would prefer to have what I originally wanted, because I do need that particular item and I do want it at a certain time. They didn't even offer a refund, but I requested a refund. I had to bypass all distractions and stand firm in what I knew I desired and what was mine. And let me tell y'all, I felt like I could not have even had the time to blink my eye before that refund appeared in my account. I was like, okay, Lord. Okay. I hope you all know where I'm going already. The first thing God wanted me to get from that is that he is indeed doing a divine reversal. Things are turning around quickly. Things are changing quickly. Positions are changing quickly. Transactions are happening quickly. Hear that however the Lord is placing it in your spirit. It could pertain to relationships. It could pertain to your job. It could pertain to family situations. It could pertain to whatever. He is causing a turnaround. He's causing it quickly and all of a sudden. As it pertains to relationships, God is saying, for some of us, we have been disconnected from our spouse for whatever reason, whether it be someone we were in a relationship with in the past, whether it was someone we don't know, but we know who they are, whether it be a friend that God has revealed to you is going to be more than a friend to you. It's your boo thing. It's your good thing. Whatever your situation is, the Lord is saying he has turned that thing around. And what looked impossible, what looked like it would never turn in your favor, God is saying he has turned that thing around, because it's simply the set time. And not only that, but it's because his heart is towards you. He is honoring how you have trusted him, how you have been obedient to him, and he is saying it's about to happen. And another thing that the Lord highlighted was the fact that this company offered me a substitution, another product. It's because for some of us, And I know you're going to be like, OMG, because this is going to hit you all in your spirit. And you're going to think I have been all in your business and conversations with the Lord. And I say that because God has truly led me to this. This was not a part of the original download. For some of you, you have met people like out of nowhere. And you know who God told you your spouse was. You know who your spouse is because God's revealed that to you. But out of nowhere, you met someone who has expressed interest to you. Someone has appeared from your past, whether this be in your thoughts, in your dreams, or in person, where before no one was checking for you, but all of a sudden there are these random occurrences that just seem to appear, and these individuals want your attention. They even confess to wanting your heart, and it has you a bit confused. You were asking the Lord, is this something that you're doing? Is this a plot twist? Listen, I'm going to be transparent. It happened to me. Not in an actual person appearing, but for some reason, this individual appeared to me in a dream. And for a minute, because God had just given me a word about divine reversals, I was so confused, y'all. And I began to hear, God is not the author of confusion. God is not the author of confusion. Do not let this fester in your spirit any longer. Pay attention to the timing of this. It is right when you are at the birthing stage. Pay attention. And what's so like God is that this message actually began to take its form several days ago. And God's been adding so much to this message throughout the last few days. And there was one portion of the video when I was filming that God had led me to talk about being fooled and not being fooled at the last minute and counterfeits and whatnot. And lo and behold, a couple of days later, I had this dream. I cannot say it enough. God is indeed intentional. He is so intentional, and He always prepares us for what's ahead. I kid you not, I spent literally a whole day just so confused, trying to figure it all out, trying to make it make sense. Me and my girls, we have this saying when we know better than to do something, and we'll just say, you're way too big to be doing that. I had this moment, this epiphany moment, when I was just like, Nikki, you are way too big to be doing this. God really had to get me together, you all. He had to remind me of all that had already happened. You know that I have given you so many confirmations, and the nature of those confirmations, they can't even be explained in the natural. They don't make sense. And you had the nerve, the audacity to sit and think that I was changing things up at the last minute. Why would I do that? Why would I do that? Where is the testimony in that? You've been hearing me speak to you about this individual for however long it's been. He's shown you confirmations. He spoke to your spirit. He's given you a knowing. He's confirmed it in so many ways. And you allowing circumstances, a dream, or whatever to throw you off your game. Stop it. God says stop it. He does not want your spirit to be in such turmoil. Go back to the moment that I first spoke it to your spirit. Think about how so many times you wanted to let it go because it just seemed too much, and I would not allow you to. I continued to confirm it to you. I continued to cause you to know and experience this in so many different ways. I pray whoever that was for received that, because God had something to say. God wanted to reach you today because He rearranged this whole message to get to you. He loves you, and He is wanting you to know what He is doing and to not be fooled by anything other than what He has for you. Hallelujah. You all, the Lord just completely took me way off of where I originally was. But we were talking about the transactions I made and how quickly I received those refunds, and how I did not accept the substitution for the product I had brought. But I opted out, got my refund, and then you all, I found this product on another site. And let me tell you, God is just so good. Not only did I find it cheaper, but I also found it at a place that got it there sooner than any other place. But the thing that really had me like, wow, is the name of this company. You all, God just, I think he just enjoys having my mouth drop open because the name of this place was so good. Let me let that rest in your spirits for a minute. Whew. God is wanting you to know that this individual who he is presenting to you now is going to be so good. Has he not been saying that? And so many of the words he's been releasing, has he not been saying he's going to be a well for you to draw from? You are going to be satisfied. He is the shepherd's gift, that he is coming bearing gifts. The Lord has been saying so much in regards to just how good this gift from the Father is going to be to you. And it's going to be far beyond what you could imagine for yourself, because that's just how our Father is. He's a good guy, and he can only give good gifts to his children. I almost forgot to mention, this company had same day shipping. Like I mentioned earlier, it got there faster than any of the other options that I had looked at. Hear that in the spirit. When I had a made up mind and was only going to accept what was mine, what God has spoken to my spirit, and I was not going to accept delays, that is when the Lord calls me to come across this site that got it there quicker, that was entitled So Good. Hear that, you all. God is saying he is rewarding your obedience, and he is going to cause this thing to happen suddenly. We are at an accelerated pace. Your relationship with the Father is key. That is your lifeline. That is what you need to be in the know of what he's doing and how he's doing it, so you won't be caught off guard, so you won't get off course, so you can stay aligned. That's what it's all about. God wants you to stay aligned to his perfect plan and will for your life. Psalm 37:4 states, "Delight yourself in me, and I will give you the desires of your heart." The Father is pleased when you delight yourself in him, when you find delight in him and just his presence, and just knowing that he's Abba Father, just enjoying him. That is when you begin to notice that things are happening in your life at an accelerated pace, because he can trust you with it. It is the appointed time, y'all. As I was just sitting here and I was just talking to the Lord, and I said, Lord, what do you want me to say? Is there something that I am leaving out? Is there something you want to express to your people? And I heard, tell them that it is as if they are sitting on the edge of their seats. That's where I had them. They are sitting on the edge of their seats. And y'all, I kid you not, as soon as he dropped that in my spirit, there was just this surge of excitement. I just felt like laughing. I felt like screaming. I felt like jumping up and down. There was just this surge of joy, this knowing in my spirit that you are so close. We are so close, y'all. Don't get me to singing, but we are so close. And it is as if you are sitting on the edge of your seats. You know what's about to happen. And I just heard your spirit is what's sitting on the edge of this breakthrough. Your spirit is sitting on the edge of this breakthrough, and it's just ready to mount up. It's just ready to leap. It's just ready to experience this thing manifest, because it knows it's right there. It knows it's right there, and it's just anticipating this manifesting in the natural. You are on the edge of your seats. I actually Googled, what does it mean to be on the edge of your seat? What does that mean? And the first definition that I came across was to be close to something. Hear that in the spirit. God is saying you are close to receiving that promise, whether it be a spouse, whether it be something you've been praying for as far as, your purpose, whether it be a home, whatever the Lord's been saying you're about to receive, you are at the edge of that seat. You are close to that thing. Another definition was to be excited, to eagerly await what happens next. And why did I just get the image of like a baby walking to a parent? It's like I saw the Father. Don't get emotional, but I just saw this vision of a parent with his arms wide open, beckoning a child to come on. As I spoke of being on the edge of that seat, it's like God saying, you're right there. Just trust me. Your faith is what is pushing you off of that seat. Your obedience is what's pushing you off that seat. God's timing is what's pushing you off that seat. It is the combination of all those ingredients mixing together. Your faith, your obedience, and the appointed time. And it's causing you to be eased off your seat. I almost felt myself saying want to be pushed off the seat. Because maybe some of you need to be pushed off the seat. Okay, I'm just playing. Hopefully not. That's just a vision. I saw, the vision of a father, the Father being the Lord, with his arm open, and he's just beckoning you. He's just encouraging you to go ahead and just ease on off that seat because you've done all the work. He's done all the work. All that's left to do is birth this thing. I'm seeing in my spirit, you know how parents will encourage their toddlers to walk, and they will do so by having a favorite toy or an object or just them, encouraging them to come. And I saw that in the spirit. I saw the Father encouraging us to keep our eyes on him because we are at that birthing stage. Keep your eyes on me. God's like, come on, I'm right here. Do not pay attention to the voices that speak contrary to what I say, and do not allow distractions to get you off course. God is saying, come to me. And like I said, I did look up, I did Google what it meant to be on the edge of your seat. And along with the definition, they offered some synonyms for the word. And y'all, these words were something serious. Let me read you a few. All of a flutter, oriented, aflame, amped, animated, evangelical, excited, go ahead, fever. Some of those are something serious, y'all, like a blaze and a flame and fever. The Lord need to hurry up and bring this person to y'all because we don't need that. But listen, does that not represent where we are in the spirit regarding this thing? We feel excited. We feel amped. We feel, the go ahead. We feel heartily. We feel just all those things that I spoke about as we are spiritually on the edge of our seats, awaiting this thing that we know is right there. And one of the words was oriented, and God literally just highlighted that as I tried to close this portion of this out, and he told me to look up the definition of that. And you all, I just love it when God has me just to dig deeper on certain things that he does not want me to miss, because I was trying to move on and he said, oriented. I want you to talk about oriented. Oriented, when I looked it up, meant a line. A line. The definition said to adjust or tailor something to specified circumstances or specific needs. I know y'all hearing that in the spirit. God said that's where he has you now. He has caused things to adjust and be tailored to fit your specific circumstances. These men, these spouses that God has called forth now have been adjusted. Things have been adjusted in the spiritual realm that make it possible for this to manifest in the natural. Thank you, Lord, for pointing that out. That was on point, y'all. And as I think about that, I once again hear my spirit. Divine reversals are happening now. God has caused things to be just right for those divine reversals to take place now. Hear that in the spirit. And I'm telling you all, when God gives me a word, he just continues to confirm over and over and over again, and he will continue to add things throughout a course of 2 or 3 days. But today, right after I heard that message about the edge of my seat, and I was just thinking about this whole situation, I heard my sister in the kitchen playing a song that immediately grabbed me in my spirit. And the song was by an artist by the name of Donald Lawrence. And the song was entitled, The Best Is Yet to Come. And I immediately, was quickened in my spirit because I ended my last video with those very words. And I never do that. But for whatever reason, I felt led to end it with the best is yet to come. So God immediately brought that back in the moment I heard my sister playing this song. And let me tell you all, my spirit grabbed a hold of this song and it just continued to play in my spirit over and over, and has been doing so for the last few days, you all. It's like when I wake up, I hear the song. I hear it all throughout the day. And one of the verses that really stand out to me goes like this. Hold on, my brother, don't give up. Hold on, my sister, just look up. There is a master plan in store for you. If you just make it through, God's going to really blow your mind. He's going to make it worth your time. For all of the trouble you've been through, blessings doubled just for you. Y'all better get excited. Did that stir your spirits? And y'all, the line that had me stuck, like in a good way, is there was this line, I think it was the bridge, and it just kept repeating over and over. Today is the first day of the best days of your life. Today is the first day of the best days of your life. Catch that in the spirit. The Lord is saying today is the first day of the best days of your life. The best is yet to come. God is decreeing and declaring that your best is yet to come. You have passed the course. You've graduated with flying colors, and you are about to receive and enjoy this manifested promise. The best is yet to come. Y'all better get excited. I think that's it, you all. Let me see, because y'all know I always try to end these things and the Lord just drops in something else. Holy Spirit, is there anything else? Okay, so I pray you all were encouraged by this. I pray that it brought you hope. I pray that it confirmed that which the Lord had already been speaking to your spirit, that He's indeed doing a divine reversal, that He's indeed causing you to be at the edge of your seats. Hear that in the spiritual. Your spirit is ready to leap, is ready to mount because of what is now in front of you. I pray that whomever it was meant for receive this word. This is just confirmation for what He's been speaking to your spirit. I just ask that you just take the time to take it to the Lord, sit at His feet, and allow Him to expound on it. Allow Him to release this rhema specifically for you, because that is what the Father desires most, relationship with you. He desires that you seek His presence more than His gifts, more than what He can do for you, because that's where it all begins. Building that relationship, that intimate relationship with Him that causes other things to open up for you. So I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for the love. Thank you so much for the kind words. Thank you so much for y'all just being so awesome. I just want y'all to know that I'm praying for you all. I'm praying for you all as we are in this journey together. I'm praying that God meets you where you are, that God gives you whatever you need as you await on the edge of your seats this manifested promise. I love you guys so much, and until next time, be blessed.